What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So yes, Evan Mobley, the rookie Cleveland Cavalier out of USC, was named a unanimous NBA All-Rookie First Team, which is awesome. He's obviously well-deserved. Definitely was in the running for Rookie of the Year. Probably should have won it, in my opinion, obviously. But overall, it's a good first season for him. Hopefully he does get better and stays away from that injury bug that kind of hit him this year as well. Then Jordan Addison, remember I made a separate video about this solo, explaining that he was officially transferring to USC, and yeah, I just want to say that a lot of other stuff has come out saying that he pretty much said he turned down other bigger NIL deals that were worth more money to go to other schools in order to go to USC and play with his friend Caleb Williams and have a better chance to get drafted according to himself. And you know, overall that's great to hear, but obviously everyone is going to say it's BS because they automatically think that USC paid up the butt for him, but USC was already pretty much has been out, bought by other schools to get other players, especially in this transfer portal. So overall, it's not like USC is really prepared right now. They don't really have a team set up or boosters or ex-alumni to set up something like that, but when they do, then it will be, open season, and you definitely should worry when USC can do that because they will get everybody. You know what I'm saying? Then Justin Herbert was actually named a betting favorite to have the most passing yards this year in the NFL, which is pretty good. Hopefully that means more victories, but they're saying he could have a pretty big, successful year this year. But then they also question that if he would win the MVP if he were leading the league in passing yards as well. I think it would kind of have to do with the touchdowns because that kind of helps out the voting in your favor instead of just having a whole bunch of yards and losing a bunch of games. So hopefully those coincide together and it's a positive thing for the Chargers, and we'll see what we can do, what we can upset or surprise people this year. A little bit of a surprise. Then a San Jose State defensive lineman, Sinjun Astani, hopefully I'm saying that correct, has made the decision to transfer to USC, but he's not going to take up one of the scholarships. He is going to come as a preferred walk-on, which is kind of surprising because he had a pretty good stats up there at San Jose State and had other offers, but wanted to come to USC because of the defensive line coach, Sean Nua, which is cool. So he might not be getting a scholarship this year, but he has 2 years of eligibility, so I'm pretty sure his final year he will be on scholarship. But overall, this is great if you could add talent like this, especially on the defensive line, and not have to use a scholarship. So we'll see where any of the other scholarships go to for USC, but overall it's looking pretty awesome for their future, in my opinion. Then, yes, secretly, both Nets general manager Sean Marks and the Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka met while I think it was at the NBA Combine in Chicago. They met secretly, and nobody knows what they talked about, or no news has come out. But everyone's pretty much assuming and predicting that it would be a trade, whether Ben Simmons is on the table for the Lakers, maybe even Kyrie Irving in a sign-and trade as well. As long as they take Russell Westbrook in either of those trades, I'm happy about that. I'm sure they would, just to see how it would work out, him reuniting with Kevin Durant. But overall, it could be a positive thing. Maybe it's also like they needed, Nets are trying to make a trade with somebody else and they need a third team involved, because they've made a couple of nice trades with the Lakers in the past couple years. Brook Lopez, other things as well, draft picks and stuff. So they've been a good partner overall, but hopefully no one gets screwed over in this scenario. But yeah, overall it could be a multiple of options for both those teams, and hopefully Lakers can get at least some good player out of it, hopefully. Then yes, the Lakers have named 3 finalists for their head coaching job. The Bucks assistant coach Darvin Ham, Terry Stotts, he is an Portland Trailblazers coach, and then also Kenny Atkinson, who is an ex-Nets coach but is one of the assistant coaches with Golden State right now, I believe. And I don't know about the two guys, Stotts or Atkinson. Darvin Ham could be great because everyone says, why doesn't he have a coaching job? He should have a coaching job already. And for some reason, he hasn't picked up anything the past couple years. But he did do a lot more interviews this year. I know Charlotte pretty much has those three guys at the top of the list as well. So I wonder if they would all wait to maybe pick, the Lakers instead of one of them already accepting the job for the Hornets and kind of taking their name out of the running for the Lakers. You never know. But overall, it's going to be very interesting. I liked Darvin Ham a lot. Obviously, an ex-assistant on the Lakers staff like a decade ago. And I think he could coach LeBron. He's an ex-player as well, so LeBron will listen to him more than someone like, our last coach, Frank Vogel. So we'll see. Then, Bet Online, I guess it's a betting site, says that there are at least like 5 teams now that you could put a bet on that could make a trade with the Lakers to take Russell Westbrook, which is pretty interesting. Especially some of the teams that were involved, but some of them are pretty much there because I guess they have more of a space to be able to add a guy with that much salary. But teams included like Indiana Pacers, New York Knicks, Oklahoma City Thunder, the Houston Rockets, and the Detroit Pistons, which is kind of surprising because I know they haven't been wanting to trade with the Lakers recently, and I don't know, they have quite a bit. It's hard to do a trade on that one website that I was doing trades with for NBA players because he hasn't officially, I don't think he can even officially accept his $40-something million deal yet, so you can't really put him in a trade yet, which is kind of weird. But a lot of teams, I guess, they're betting. If they're on a betting site, it's more than likely that there's a possible chance that it could happen. No matter how small the percentage, it is possible, so you just never know, I guess. Then, other defensive lineman for USC, Nick Figueroa, the senior, he was actually named to the Lott Trophy watch list, which I guess is like a watch list before the season of college football to check out some of the top defensive linemen in the country, which is pretty interesting because obviously he's playing next to a defensive end in Corey Foreman, who is considered a really talented player but wasn't even mentioned on the list unless it's just because they didn't like anything they saw from him last year. But I'm just hoping that gives Foreman more motivation to show out this year and wreck some fools and show what he can do because he's definitely one of those top NFL first-round talents when he declares in 2 years, in my opinion. Then when it comes to Luka, yes, sadly, it's been tough to watch because, game 2, they had like a 19-point lead or something like that, and they ended up losing. But even in that game, he had, 42 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, a near triple-double, 42 points, and they still lost. And then even last night, Game 3, back at home, we had a little bit more of momentum on your side, and yet still weren't able to seal the deal. They ended up losing that game as well, but once again, he scored another 40 points with 11 rebounds, so a double-double this time around. And yeah, it just sucks because you know that Dallas made it this far, but they are definitely missing a guy or two. Obviously, it doesn't help that Tim Hardaway Jr., guy you're paying probably second or third most on the team, it hasn't been playing and cannot play pretty much the rest of the series and playoffs. So yeah, it does suck that way. They should have gotten rid of him, at some point during the trade deadline. But too bad. And overall, it just kind of sucks too because Dallas is obviously in the West. The Lakers will have to contend with them next year, and they make a big trade, then it's just going to make them even more formidable, which is going to suck, but we will see. Then ending off on some miscellaneous news, yes, Bam Margera of Jackass fame, he was pretty much taken out and not allowed to be in this last Jackass forever because of, drug and alcohol abuse. And, they he pretty much just did a lawsuit against, Jackass crew and Paramount as well, but he eventually dropped it and ended up going into like a 12-month program to detox and clear out. And luckily he did pass that milestone where, he did get out of there. And as of right now, he's actually living in Sarasota, Florida or something like that, maybe Boca Raton, one of those, but it's actually like really close to the facility. So in case if he ever feels anything like a relapse coming or anything like that, bad thoughts, then he could just go over there right away. But as of right now, it's been going good so far, which is great. And obviously with the news that they might end up doing a show for Paramount Plus for the Jackass crew, that, you know, it is a possibility that he might come back. But the more important thing, obviously, which is why they took him off the film, is for him to get healthier and better. So luckily, that is a positive thing going for him in his life right now. And then, yes, Tom DeLonge released a new, actually the first trailer for his movie Monsters of California. Been working on for like the past couple years, and yes, finally got a trailer, finally got some idea of what it's about, and, you know, some lines and a couple of scenes. Even saw some of the actors. Richard Kind obviously plays like a cousin or brother of Larry David on Curb Your Enthusiasm. You know him there. Casper Van Dien was obviously the main guy in Starship Troopers. Pretty cool to see him there. But yeah, overall it does seem like a newer cast, a lot younger cast, a lot of nobodies, but it is an independent film, and it looks pretty good action-wise and camera work-wise and setup-wise. That they probably spent a little bit of money on there, but overall, definitely can't wait for this to come out. Obviously, don't know when it's going to come out officially because it is Tom DeLonge, but at least we got some footage, so it means that it's soon, and I'm hoping within the next calendar year. Let's hope, because I know he said last year that he said the spring the movie would be released, and all we have right now is the first trailer, so you never know, but hoping for the best. Thanks for watching, people. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.